Hi, in this workshop I will demonstrate how to use INTMAX both using the web app and the client SDK. So for the purposes of this demonstration I have a brand new account in MetaMask. So first we need to get some ETH on Sepolia. So we pick the Sepolia testnet and copy the address. And now we have some ETH on Sepolia. We will now make a deposit to the INTMAX network. So we go to Bridge and we connect the MetaMask wallet. And then we enter the amount to deposit. We click deposit. Now the transaction is completed on layer 1, but we need to wait for the INTMAX network to process the transaction before you can use the funds on layer 2. This will take about half an hour. Now the deposit is completed and we can start sending transactions on INTMAX. So we click send, and here we enter the amount to send. And here we enter the INTMAX address of the recipient. So for this demonstration, we will just send the funds to ourselves. So we click here to get our INTMAX address. We copy paste it here, and then we send. Then we need to sign the transaction in MetaMask. And now the transaction is completed. And now we will demonstrate how to withdraw funds back to layer 1. So we go to Bridge, click Withdraw, and here we enter the amount to withdraw, and we click here. Then we need to sign in MetaMask. I will now demonstrate the INTMAX 2 client SDK. So we go to Examples and to Node, and here we will follow the instructions. So first we clone the repository. Then we install and build server SDK. And then we will install the dependencies for the node example. And now we need to create a .env file. This file will contain your Ethereum private key and the layer 1 RPC URL. So in order to get your Ethereum private key, we will open MetaMask, click here, account details, show private key, enter password, and hold this button. And then we copy paste the private key. And here we need to write 0x before the private key. And then we need to get a layer 1 RPC URL. So we will go to chainlist.org and search for Ethereum Sepolia. And note that the client SDK only supports HTTPS. So we will pick one of these URLs and paste it in here. Then we close the env file. And then we will have a look at the script. This script runs a series of commands to showcase the SDK. First, we initialize the client. And then we log in to our INTMAX account. Then we fetch and display balances. Then we sign a message and verify the signature. Then we make a deposit to the INTMAX network. Then we send a transaction to ourselves. And finally, we make a withdrawal to layer 1. We will now run the script. Now let's have a look at the output. First, the client was initialized, and then we logged in. This is our INTMAX address. This is our balance on INTMAX. This is our signature of the message, and the signature is valid. Here you can see the transaction history of our account. And here we see the deposit result, and this is the result of the transfer. And here we got an error when we try to withdraw to layer 1. And the reason for this is that we cannot make a withdrawal to layer 1 while we are still waiting for this transfer to be completed. Now let's have a look at the web app. And here we see 3 new transactions. This is the deposit, which is still being processed. This is the send transaction, and this is the corresponding receive transaction. And now the deposit transaction is completed. And now that the send transaction is completed, we can try withdrawing again from the client SDK. This time we will only perform a withdrawal transaction. So we will comment out the deposit and transfer commands. Now we will run the script again. And here we see a new withdrawal transaction, which is currently being processed by INTMAX. The script is currently waiting for the withdrawal transaction to be completed, but we can safely close the script now. We have now demonstrated how to use INTMAX both with the INTMAX web app and the client SDK. You can find the documentation for the client SDK here. In this document, all the functions of the client SDK are documented. And there are also some examples.